Hello and welcome to Die Rolling. I'm the ever excitable Adam, and here is Show.
It's Will! I broke in.
That makes what we were just doing, all that kissing, really weird. So, we're here today to have a quick look at, what's the game called?
It's pretty much just, it's a bloodbath, I remember it.
The Bloodbath, aka Blood of the Northmen. This is a pretty cool looking Viking themed game. I unboxed it fairly recently and was very excited to have a look at the game and play with Will, because I thought if there's anyone I'd like to kill in a Viking setting, it would be yourself.
And it'll be vice versa.
Well, there we go.
Just in a Viking rage.
That's it. And we played this. It's a 1 to 4 player game. Although it looks like you could probably play 5 players with this. It's a 1 to 4 player game, and one of the main reasons why it's just me and Will is because I feel Jamie would get too angry by playing this with Will. Yeah. After we played Fjorda, he was really invested and really angry about it all. So
he went off to go and train with the Vikings to learn how to.
That's where he is now. Yeah. So he's doing the whole Viking lifestyle. So we're gonna get this to the table. It's gonna be like the first time either of us played this, so we may play some things incorrectly. If there's a trigger warning, it should be presented right now here. But yeah, so join us after our quick brief play of the game and see what we think. So we have set up Blood of the Northmen, and we are being pitted against each other in the way that Vikings like to fight.
A bloodbath.
A bloodbath. So in the north.
In the north.
We are men. So it's Blood Northmen. Except I'm a woman called Jarl Brenna.
And I'm Jarl Harval.
Can you call me Yul Brenna, please? Because that was a...
Yul Brown.
Yul Brenna was an actor back in the day.
Okay.
Yul Brenna, yeah.
Yul Brenna.
Okay, so to begin with, we have to decide who's going to first. And rather than like fight each other, we have to just draw a tile. And the one that has the most mountain sides on is going to be the first place. I'm going to pick this one here.
I'm going to try this one right here.
And let's reveal. Go. So we have none. So we keep drawing until somebody gets one.
I'll try a different tile.
Oh, it's you.
Oh,
you got one
there.
So you draw one additional tile.
One additional tile.
Keeping it to yourself, so I can't see what they are. And then I draw 2 tiles. I'll have a consonant and a vowel. Oh, I'm just checking that over there. So on your turn, you'll be placing tiles down. And then depending on what you place, means what you can do. So there are forests, there are lakes, there are roads, and there are mountains, and there are also town actions to do. And we sat down, we went through the whole rulebook before this.
Yes.
And so we might have glazed over some bits. So if you place any towns, feel free to ask questions to find out what they are. So, Will, place your first thing
It's going
down.
to be a town.
Okay, so we've got a Tusk Town to begin with.
Yes.
Now, Tusk Towns, you can basically lock a tile in for later.
Yes.
To help you out with future battles. Let me just double check in the
in the rules.
Right from the offset.
With some few vague examples, but we got there.
So, player performing a Tusk action may prepare a tile from your hand face down in front of you. The tiles kept together with any previously prepared tiles from turns before. And basically, you're going to be placing one of your tiles, if you have one, face down. Would you like to do that?
No.
Because you don't have any mountain tiles, right? Okay, cool. Okay, so the next thing you do is you look to see if you've got any forests on here. And we have one forest here. So you can either place one of your warband down in this area, or you could draw a tile.
Though the tile is very tempting, I think I'm going to... the town matches my people.
Perfect.
So,
that's great. Okay, so the next thing we'll have a look at the lake action, which is do you want to move anyone? But there's no tiles, so you can't.
No, I'm not going to move.
We look to see if there's any roads, and you have one road on there. There's nowhere to go, so nothing to do.
I go on a loop.
However, I'm saying on this stuff, you can, however, draw a tile.
I'm going to.
So do you want to do that for your lake action, your road action, or your mountain action?
Let's just do it for the mountains. Right?
Mountain is. Okay, and that's the end of your go.
Yeah. That's it. Simple.
Simple indeed. So, it's worth noting Will has got a special ability where actually he can do 2 forest actions on his turn instead of 1, because there's only 1 forest, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So if you wanted to, you could place another guy down.
Let's do it.
Huzzah.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. So,
And then Adam's also got his ability, which lets him get extra victory points for having more people in.
Yeah, being in multiple towns of the same type gives me victory points. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna put this over here. So I've got a forest on there. So I'm going to place one of my guys in the forest. And for my lake action, I have 4 lake actions there. So I could move people around if I wanted to. Tempting. However, I'm going to draw 4 tiles.
Nice.
Okay, it's your turn now.
Well, I'm going to play a very fun tile.
Oh.
It's a giant forest.
Okay, and a good placement there because there's a mountain there. Normally you can't place next to things if it doesn't match, but mountains are wildcards, so you're able to do it. So yeah, you got a ton there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forests.
Yeah, so I can just bring 5 people out and just pile them in.
Well, this is going phenomenally well for you.
Yeah. Well, they're all hidden in a forest. They're not in anywhere significant. They're just hidden away.
Okay, cool. Well, what we're doing now is, now we've got 3 tiles out. Yeah. Any tile we place down has to connect. So I am going to place this tile here, which I can do because they're kind of like cliffs there. So I'm going to do a tusk action first, which is basically take one of the tiles from my hand and place it face down. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a forest action, so I'm going to place one of my guys in this town here. Nice. And I'm not going to do a road action, and I'm going to do a mountain to draw 2 tiles.
You've got all the tiles.
All the tiles.
I got 2.
Your tiles can never exceed how many people are left in your settlement, by the way.
So the number of tiles in your hand can't exceed... Okay.
What you got left in your settlement.
Okay, so you've got to be cautious on that then. So I'm going to place... I'm going to place this down right here, because I can do that.
You can. Okay, so there's no forests?
Nope.
You got some road actions there.
I've got some road actions, so I've got a lot of movement.
Yep, so the road action, you can move one whole army that is on a road along a road.
So it's one along a road. I can't move anyone out of forest.
No, if you have a lake action, you could move people out of forests.
Oh, okay.
So you have roads, only along roads.
That's fine. So I've got people in towns and roads there, so I could move someone from here over to here.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to draw for another one of them because I've got like multiple. Well, for my smaller road actions will be moving. Yeah. I can draw for one of the road actions.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm going to take one of these.
Okay.
And then can I draw again for the other road actions? Just keep going?
Yeah.
Cool, so I'm going to keep drawing.
This is my understanding of the game.
Cool. So I'm going to draw that and then draw one more because that's my 3 road actions that I'm not doing. And then...
Mountain, do you want to start combat?
Yeah, let's start combat.
Okay, cool. So you get to place down 2 tiles because you're starting the combat, so you get a bonus tile for fighting, initiating the combat. Yep. Okay, so you got 2 tiles there. Now I can use this previously saved one in this combat. I only get 1 tile because there's only one of me here. Yeah. On a draw, we remove both people. We remove both people. So you go first. You're fighting.
Should we do one tile?
No, you do it. You show me what you got.
3.
Oh, 3. I've got 1, 2, 3.
Oh, everyone died.
Everybody dies.
That's the end of the story.
Okay. I'll pause there for a second also, just double check to see what happens with ties on this. So, the fun thing is, we both get a victory point for that.
Oh, do we?
So, we both move one of our guys onto our little campfire. Nice. So, it works out pretty well for everybody involved in that, right? Yeah. It's more of that, please. Yeah. Is the first one to 6 victory points?
Or it could be a tie if we just keep drawing like that.
I mean, it really could be. Right, there, discarded. Where do you put the discarded ones?
I just put them on the side for now. I didn't put them in here.
Yeah, put them away because they need to go away because once these are depleted, that's the end of the game.
Oh, okay, so then those 2 just go to the side somewhere. I'll just like pile there, out of the way.
I'll just put it back in the box. Cool. Okay, I've got a ton of tiles here. Yeah. Lots of things I can do. So it works out well. Ooh. I'm going to place this over here. So I've got 5.
1, 2, 4.
4.
Yeah.
So
and then you got 2. But then you got 2 lake actions.
I've got 2 lake actions, so I can move up to 3 of my people twice.
Yeah. So you can move everyone.
So
you can move everyone.
I'm going to stay where I am for the moment. I'll see how I go.
Draw some tiles instead.
I can only draw 1 more tile, so I'm going to do that.
I'm going to put in a lake over here.
Okay.
So I've got some. I've got 2 forest. Is it 3 forests? Because it's a forest there.
No, we don't count the islands.
No. Okay, so 2 forests. So I could bring more people out. I'm going to do 2 draw actions instead.
Okay, so you're trying to get some more forces, right?
Yeah. And then I'm going to use
fight.
my 4 lake actions to move an army of 3 twice, right? So I've got 1, 2.
Okay.
And then I can move them. Well, it will go through this way. Or can I go over them? I can't go over the mountains, can I?
No, you can't move through mountains.
So I'd have to go through you.
Yeah.
But it would mean I'd stop because I can't go through you directly.
Yes.
So I could go like there.
Yep. It's 1 lake action.
And then I could go there.
2 lake actions.
Yeah. And then I've got 2 more actions.
2 more lake actions, yep.
Which I can't move out of that space. Because I'd have to move.
Yeah.
Well, I'd have to get rid of you.
Yeah, and you've already drawn cards.
Yeah, and I've already drawn, so that's me.
Okay. Right.
When do the strongholds kick in?
You can do it whenever you place a tile.
Okay.
Cool. Just trying to find ones which match up to the.
Yeah, that's the tricky bit. What happens if you don't have a tile that doesn't?
Then you just draw one
from, and then you just keep
from this.
And that's
pack.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to place this here.
Yeah.
I'm going to do 2 forests. And then I'm going to do. I've got a couple of lake actions here.
3 lake actions.
So I'm going to go 1. So it's 1 lake action, 2 lake actions, and then I'm going to use my mountain to attack.
Ooh.
So I'm going to. So I get a bonus 1. So I'm going to use that from my hand.
Yeah.
And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to draw them from here because my hand is terrible for mountains.
And then I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And you get 5. So it's 5 versus 5.
I do 1, 2.
Do you also not have any mountains, or are you trying to keep your?
I've got no mountains. Well, I've 1 mountain.
Right. Okay. So
it's all luck on this.
Nothing.
1.
2.
Nothing.
4.
Nothing. Nothing.
5.
3.
So you lose 2 people. And I gain a victory point.
Dang.
And we discard all these beautiful tiles.
Face down. A little.
Try and do it that way, Will.
I'm trying to do it that way. I'm trying to like fit it the right way around to fit the.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
So 1 forest. Oh, there's a town there as well, which is
Yeah.
a silver town, which you can use to bribe, discard tiles from your hand to get rid of warbands on the
map.
On the map.
So I could say discard 2.
Yeah, you could discard those 2 you've got in your hands.
Okay.
And then get rid of 2 of my warbands. Yep.
Oh, not that one.
So you bribe them.
They're bribed. They go in. I gave you some money.
Okay.
Just to leave us alone.
So that was your silver town action.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm going to now
forest next.
No.
Do you want to put someone down, or do you
I have a silver town action. Oh, but it's of the same type as it as well, isn't it? It's not just okay. Cool. So I've got a. I'm going to place someone down. So I'm going to place someone in here.
Okay. 1 for your forest.
Yeah.
Now it's roads. You've got 1 road action.
So I could I'm going to draw for that.
Okay. And you have a mountain action.
Which I'm going to fight.
Okay, so go for it then.
So I'm going
You've got 4 in total.
So I'm going to place this down and then 3 random ones.
And I've only got 2 guys there, so I'm just doing 2 randoms. Go. Reveal. Whoa.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I got 1, so it's a victory point for you, sir.
Does that come from? Yeah, it comes from here. So
yeah. Okay, it's even Stevens now. Okay, where do I want to go next? It's tricky to figure out where these guys are going to go.
You got to think you're going to get an extra action over me because I don't have anything.
No?
I don't have any hounds in my hand.
Good. Keep it that way. Oh, it's tricky trying to... I think I can only go there, if I'm honest.
Could have gone down there with it, but yeah, it's pretty
so
tough.
Forest action. I've got one.
Yeah.
So it goes. He's going there. Lake action. Draw 2 tiles. Road action. I've got 2 roads, so I'm going to go all the way around here. 1, 2.
Ooh.
And
don't know mountains.
that's it. No
you
mountains.
got some lakes. You draw for your lakes?
I did.
Cool.
I draw for lakes, and it's road.
Well,
turn.
my turn is just draw a cut tile.
So you place it straight away.
Do you place it straight away? Okay.
Straight away.
Cool. So I've got to figure out where I can put this tile. It's quite an interesting.
Because all the lakes have gone, right?
Yeah.
You got a mountain, so it could be a wild.
I do have a mountain, but okay. So yeah, so I do have a card that would work. That could work there, but then that's.
You can't do it on roads though. That's the only thing.
I could do it in here.
Yep, that's perfect. So a forest, 3 lakes.
So I got 1 forest on there, so I can perform that action twice.
Yes.
So I could get 2 people that appear here. I can then, and then I've got some lakes. So I've got 1, 2,
3 lakes.
3 lakes, which means I can move people. How many times?
3.
3. So 3 times. So I can move like groups of 3 people, 2 spaces, that many times, right?
But through a forest, we completely forgot that.
Okay.
Through a forest, it takes 2 lakes to get through there.
So it takes 2 lakes to go through 1 forest.
Yeah.
So from here to there, that's
1.
1.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 1, 2.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't be able to move anyone else. But if I go there.
Yeah.
And then I can move all these guys.
Into there for the last 2 actions, yeah. And then mountain.
And then we could just have a fight in there.
If you want to.
Sure, let's just have a fight. And then I just get the 1 tile. And then 1 bonus, don't I?
Yep, you get 2 tiles.
So whatever these are.
Show me. Oh, nice. I only have 1. So my guy's gone. You get
all
a
the
victory
mountains.
point.
But now I can only hold 2
Cool.
tiles.
Discard those guys.
I can only hold.
Well, it's not a problem. You're kicking my butt at the moment. Well,
I've just got a little stronghold of just like a. I haven't even put a stronghold down yet. I probably should, just to stop you moving around.
Yeah. I've got tiles I can place, but I don't want to place them.
Might need to place them.
I've got to remember what these towns do. What the
Tusk Town.
It's not a Tusk Town. That's a Pelt Town.
Pelt Town. Wasn't that like extra? That was like the one. That's not the one that stores.
Pelt Town.
Is that the one that stores like?
You return scored points. So, player form Pelt action returns his scored points, then scores 1 victory point for each Pelt action. He marks each point by taking a warband miniature from his settlement. So I basically lose two of my guys.
Yeah.
And then get back nothing.
Mm.
So there's no point doing that.
No.
I got 4 road actions though. I don't have anyone on roads.
No.
Your turn.
Cards, but it's got lots
Oh yeah, I'll do that. Thanks, Will. I'll draw some tiles. One.
Well, all I can do is just look on the tile drawer at the moment. It's just like whatever I get is what I deal.
You push down, yeah. Push it too far.
Interesting. Interesting though. It's a nice little town.
Oh, it's interesting.
It's a gold town. Is that the drunken town? Is that a mead town? I think
that is a
mead town, I believe.
I think you're right. That is a mead town. And basically this is where you can perform a mead action, place one of your warband miniatures into reserve in front of you, and you'll spend them to do different actions like lake or whatever.
Okay, so I can well, by placing that, I can do that, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to put one of these guys here.
In reserve, okay. Forest action.
So forest action, I get 2 forest actions, so I'm going to draw for one of them. I'm then going to put my final, well, I can't do that because I can't use up what my hand limit is.
You wouldn't have anything.
So I can't do that. For my lake action, I'm going to redeem my character to do 2 lake actions.
Okay.
So I can send 3 people, I think, for 2 actions into here, right? So
that's one action.
Is that one action?
Yep.
Oh, nice. So I can do 1, and then I can do 2.
So Will is trying to win the game by forming the Biarmir, which is when you have forces in each one of the different types of towns in here. Yeah. It's a very good strategy. He's got there, right?
Yeah.
So you've got you've done your lakes.
Yeah, and then I've got a road action.
Yeah.
Which I can then send just one person.
This guy.
To town.
Right. Let me just double check if the game just ends now.
But don't I have to have 6 or that?
Let me just double check. So, if a player at the end of his turn has at least one warband of his colour in at least one town of each type, and he can trace a path through the wilderness of any distance between each such town without going over a mountainside, off the map, or through a tile containing only warbands not of his colour, he has founded the nation of Biarmir, and he wins.
I don't even know if that even counts, because I'm not even connected.
No, you can trace it through the wilderness.
Does that count? Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, Will, you have inadvertently just taken over. Wow. You've started the nation of Biarmir.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. I've settled and taken the lands.
We didn't even use any strongholds.
No. I wish I did.
To be fair though, like I kind of felt like we were getting to the point this game was going to end soon because we were running out of tiles here.
Yeah.
You beat me on victory points. You beat me on Biarmir.
It was a bloodbath.
It was a bloodbath, literally.
Well, there were so many battles. It was literally a bloodbath.
Well, you bribed my guys.
Told them to go home.
And then killed their friends. So that's
sounds
how
like
you
a
roll.
typical me strategy.
So that was a game of Blood of the Northmen.
Yeah.
What did you think, Will?
It was a bit of a bloodbath, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, you slaughtered me in that, to be fair. My little red arrow guys, I just didn't really have much chance.
We brought some arrows to an axe fleet fight. It wasn't really much of a contest.
I just loved how you just bribed my guys away and then killed their friends. Like, great.
Yeah, no, we used the advanced rules for the game itself. So it added a bit more depth to the actual game itself. Yep. So whenever you put the town down, you get these additional actions, and one of them was the Silver Town, which would let you bribe
the mead hall.
People. Yeah, the mead hall. That was it.
The mead hall,
and you'd bribe other people to go away because you just say, "Oh, here's some money. Just leave."
Actually, maybe it was the Silver Town. I can't remember.
The mead hall. The mead town was the one where you can hold.
Oh, you can hold
actions.
your actions.
It's like you got drunk and you passed out, and you wait, and then you get more people the following day.
That was it. Because they're okay. So like you said, we played the advanced rules, not just the basic. Normally when we do these kind of first tries, we do basic. But I thought, hey, why not? We're both fairly intelligent people. We play board games, semi-right. And I know that like at some point we were playing incorrectly because I'm fairly certain a few times we moved across forests when it would have cost us an extra action.
But at the very beginning.
Yeah, but overall, I think we picked that up at one point, and then we carried on with that. So let's talk about components to begin with. So, what did you think of the components for this?
I thought they were very pretty. I like the artwork on the tiles themselves. So, like, sort of depicted the actual environments around. And I liked also having the ability to create a terrain using these tiles. So, creating like a lovely top-down map, and just getting out a lovely collection of tiles. So
we've got some tiles here, really nice, and. What's really good about this is the fact that what's on this tile is what you can do on your turn.
Yeah.
Like, I've not really seen that.
No, I've not seen that. No, not as like that. I've normally seen them as like, oh, you're matching them to make a particular area, and then you get points at the end based on how they've combined together. Like a lot of like tile builders tend to do, but this one seems to now dictate, like, based on what tiles you get and build up in your hand or your pool of tiles, you can then end up using as your actions for the turn. So you can like figure out saying, oh, do I want to attack everyone this turn? Do I want to like hold back and some of that? So like some of the moves, like having like 5 attacks in a go, or for some of the tiles, probably wouldn't be good for like our kind of game. But if you've got a bigger group of people, like, and you've got like a bigger diversity of where your play is at that, it's going to end up being a bit more. You're going to be attacking a lot more.
Yeah. I think you're right, and the component wise, the tiles are really good, and we'll get onto the gameplay a bit more, I guess, in a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't really use these at all, but you've got some stronghold miniatures in this as well, which are pretty meaty. They're pretty cool.
They're really good. They were.
And then the guys themselves, which are very nice. There's a lot of detail in them. Really.
There is.
But the only problem being the fact that they're not. Yeah. They're all the same colour. Yeah. So I had to use a bit of contrast paint just before this, so Will and I could have like 2 different colours and be able to differentiate us on the board.
But it's like, that's not too much hassle, and it's like, if you were with like miniatures anyway and like with painting, this is like, it gives you that little thing. Though the miniatures are quite small, just to be more wary of.
Yeah, and the boards as well for the Isles, they're double-sided as well, so you can just play with whoever you want to do, which is pretty good.
Ever Earl or Jarl you want to be.
Yeah, exactly. So overall components, yeah, I think they're really nice, like for what you get in this. And the rule book as well is really... I
like the examples in the rule book. They actually gave you some... It gave you some way of figuring it out. It's a bit complicated in terms of like understanding, because it's a unique kind of game. It's very unique in terms of the concepts that they invite to it. So even coming in as a bit of an expert of like playing it and like having played ball games a lot, it's like you still get that little bit of confusion when doing the first read through. But like having a look at the examples, getting an idea, and then reading back over the previous section, it clearly shows this is how it works, and it sort of becomes quite simplistic when
so
you start playing.
You get the kind of text up here, just blocking Will's face from current mode. And then underneath you have like a little italics example of, so it says this is what you should do, and then, oh, in this situation you would do this. And yeah, I agree. I think it's like the pictures are really well laid out, and when you read the initial paragraph, it's a lot of text to get through and understand. But with those little examples of how this actually equates to playing the game, it really does help you learn it. So just the basic... So let's talk about gameplay now. So if you're just playing this with the basic mode, you would only have like certain actions you could do. And I think like you would be limited to being able to mitigate the luck of drawing tiles. But we played with like the advanced rules with some towns in there which give you like some new abilities. And I think personally, I feel like if you're playing this game, you should be playing with those towns, because I think if this is the first time you played it, you could just play with basic actions where, you know, you count how many forest sides you have.
I suppose it's useful if you've like also a bit confused with the rules and you might want to have a second reading, but you want to get into a game. It's like it's that kind of thing. It's like something that you might come back to at a later date when you've actually agreed. It might even be like something, if you don't understand it completely, do forums to find out where they play it, or just create your own house rules out of it and try and set up something like that.
Exactly. There is one little caveat with the rulebook I forgot to mention. There is a few mistakes in there, but if you go to Board Game Geek, there is a nice little kind of section on there saying, with the creator telling you exactly what it should be doing in particular points. But yeah, gameplay-wise, this is very unique. I've not played a game like this before. I played games where you've got cards in your hand and that dictate what you do in your turn. But not that they then turn into the actual tiles you're working with and stuff. So that was quite unique, I think.
And then you're building the world around you, and how combat and how people appear is all based on the tiles that you play. Like you could have big forests and then suddenly big armies appear out of nowhere, though it takes them a while to get to where they need to be. Or you've then got vast seas that then let you travel through those forests. Or so it's like a load of different variations between just having like a single, say, oh, I've got now one action to move over here. I've now got like all these actions, but I can choose how to separate them. I can draw a tile from this one, I can use this to do this, and then prepare myself for the next future rounds and get ready to then try and either force someone to put a tile you might be expecting into another place by changing up the layout of how it's all angled up. Because the first 3 is all that matters, and they can be placed however. Yeah. And then it sort of all changes up.
Then you've got to be very careful with it. And I think one of the really interesting elements of this is you have your 12 kind of characters, your 12 warband units on your settlement tile, and they go onto the board itself, but they also represent your victory points. So you get to a point where you start running out of settlers on your left-hand side, and the settlers are also your hand limit as well. So, I mean, you got to a point where you pretty much had like the lot of them out, right?
Yes, yeah.
And then you had like one guy left.
Because I had like a massive, vast forest that gave me like 5 people out, and then every single tile unit that I got with 1 forest on, I could put 2 units out. So I effectively doubled my output of units. So I just flooded the board with my entire army. Adam had his very, very technically focused achievement of getting extra victory points for having people in adjacent connected town or same town type. But that was more of how we shuffled and luckily drew that. Yeah. But if we were in a larger player game, I can see that being a more positive ability than maybe some of the others. It's just all based on the number of people that are playing. So some things may be better in a smaller game than another game, and it's going to change it up. So in this game, it was better for the way I played with a smaller group of people who were just literally us 2. But if I was playing, say, I had a Jamie in, that whole tactic may have completely flew out the water, because Jamie's also putting his people down and moving them around, and it might just block everything that I'm then trying to do.
Exactly. So yeah, I think I agree with you on that. I think it's very strategic. The gameplay's really fun for this, and it's quite easy to learn as well. Although we did make a few mistakes when we were playing this. Yeah. But this is the first time we ever played this, so we're going to make mistakes. But did we have fun?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing this game. I definitely recommend playing it, and I want to play it again. I want to see if we could play it with Jamie and see if he wants to.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Jamie gets on with this, because, like, I feel like he's going to get annoyed at not having the right tiles.
He'll just be incredibly good at the game because of his training with the Vikings, and just then start throwing axes around the table.
There is that. He'll have like a yard of ale, and like he'll have a horny hat on, pardon the expression. So yeah, okay. So would you recommend this for a play this, buy this, avoid this? What would you say?
I would buy it. It would be something that would be unique to the shelf, and something that, especially for a vivid board gamer. But if you're someone that's coming into this, I would say it would be a game to play with someone before you buy. But it's something to but it would be definitely towards the buy of buying this game, because it's something that probably wouldn't match anything that's on your shelf. It would be a unique kind of game to play, and something, but has styles of other games that you may like. So especially if you like combat games or things that are more very strategic, very strategic games, this is probably something that you'd want to pick up and play. Yeah, especially if you want something quick in comparison to like some of the 4X games.
That's right. Yeah, it doesn't take forever to play this as well. And I think that's a really good point you made there about like playtime, because it doesn't take an age to play this. I mean, especially if you're playing like me and you don't really like realize your place, setting at will for a Bjarmir win. But yeah, like from my perspective, I think this is definitely one which, like you say, is be unique to your collection, because I've never played a game where the tiles are actually your actions and stuff. It's really interesting, like how they've done that. And yeah, like I don't think the Viking theme really like came through like a lot. Like it felt like it was a Viking game. Like I felt like I was exploring and stuff like that. But I wasn't feeling like I was, a Viking going out. And it's not like Blood Rage or something where you've got like deep, like proper Viking miniatures and you're, fighting to get into Valhalla and that. So it didn't, like, the theme for me was good, but it wasn't like really immersive. I think, like, I'm just trying to think of like other games I played. I want to say Fjordar, but that also wasn't like really great. It just looked great on the table. It was a fun game to play, but it also wasn't like, I didn't really feel like I was a Norwegian prince king. But anyway, like overall, this is definitely a buy for me. I think it's fun. I think it's easy to learn. I think it's lovely components, and overall, yeah, it's great fun. And if you see a board game cafe, definitely get this out and have a go.
Yeah. It'll be definitely a good environment to definitely try this out, especially because they'll be able to help you with the rules and some of the misunderstandings that you may come across when reading it itself. It might be a way you actually go and learn the game before you go and pick it up.
I mean, we might go to a board game cafe after this and
give it a go.
Find out what we did wrong, I guess. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, please leave some comments below. Yeah, you can find us on various other social media platforms,
such as Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube itself, Twitter. Sometimes you're on there, like occasionally. We don't get TikTok, but we tried once and it ended up being.
We've never tried TikTok. It's not a thing.
It was that one time. and then make sure to leave obviously the likes, comments, ding that bell, and make sure you keep notified on on all our latest videos. And make sure to stay safe and keep rolling.
There we go.